I could buy you diamond earrings if that would turn back the time. And if you wore them to church on Sunday, everyone would see we're fine. And if you'd smile at me just one more time, with the look I so admire, we'd be looking into love again, instead of staring into the fire. Eloise, don't you fly up the chimney. Eloise, please do what you should. Baby, please find what you once saw in me, and I'll be better, I'll be better, I'll be good. I was slow to make an offer, while you kept pushing me to the mat, taking tricks and quoting scripture. How could I have passed on that? And all those days we prayed together, by the maple, by the creek. You told me Jesus loved your body. I said your body makes me weak. Eloise, don't you fly up the chimney. Eloise, please do what you should. Baby, please find what you once saw in me, and I'll be better, I'll be better, I'll be good. I sold the farm because I had to, just like you were to pay the rent. But baby, sin is what we're bound for. I took you broken, took you bent, and I forgive the past he paid for. The day the lightning tore the sky, why can't you grant me the same favor and paste forgiveness in your eyes? Eloise, don't you fly up the chimney. Eloise, please do what you should. Baby, please find what you once saw in me, and I'll be better, I'll be better, I'll be good. Oh, I'll be better, I'll be better, I'll be good. Why, hello, everybody! Welcome to Monday Night Live, our special benefit fundraiser for Trex Proffitt for Pennsylvania State Senate for the 13th District, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. We're going to bring Trex on in just a second. I also want to welcome all of the Nields fans who have come. Hello, Carol. Hello, Trish. I can't read all of the names, but I saw, oh, hello, Juice. Hi. Hello, Tom Nields Duffy and Gail and John Nields. It's so good to see you guys. Oh my God, this is so great. Yeah, thank you for the wonderful candidates. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Josh. Hi, Carrie. Oh my God. This is very, very fun. And hi, Betty. Oh my God, it's so good to see your name. I wish I could see your faces. I really wish I could see your faces. This is amazing. Today's Labor Day, and I'm so excited to be doing... Oh, I need to say, the reason I'm here all by myself is because after 4.5 years, you guys, of dodging COVID, it finally got my sweet sister, Katrina, who is the most careful, cautious person ever. And she has been a master at avoiding COVID. Like, amazing. Everybody around her got it, and she was standing. But now she's sick. And so she is home. She might pop on and say hi. I'm not sure. She might pop on and actually, like, you'll hear my voice, but you'll see her face singing. That could happen too. Anything could happen. But I want you guys to join me now. This is what I just found out from the History Channel, that the very first Labor Day was 1894. Grover Cleveland signed it into law. Labor Day honors working people everywhere, all over the world, not just the U.S. And thanks to workers all over the world, we have weekends. We have these extra Monday holidays. We have 8-hour weeks. We have benefits, but we need to do more. And we'll be talking about that with Trex in just a few minutes. But right now, and I wish that I had my sister here, because she would talk right now while I was tuning and say something wise or funny or both. This is a song that is on our record 17. We were highly and heavily influenced by the work of Pete Seeger, both musically and politically. And he actually came a lot to my father's grade school growing up in the 50s in New York City. Pete Seeger would come and sing to all the students at my dad's school, because Pete Seeger's brother was the geography teacher there. So this is one of the songs that we learned from our father. Well, no, it's not. There is a song called Joe Hill that we learned from our father and mother that Pete Seeger taught them. And when Pete Seeger died, this song came to me whole, including the beginning part where there was something of a visitation. So there's a sing-along chorus here, and many of you know it. I hope that at home you're singing along. And after this, we'll bring on Trex. This is our Joe Hill. Last night I had the strangest dream. I dreamed I saw Joe Hill. He was alive as you and me. I thought we're never gonna see his like again until we find a way to gather, admit what is the matter, find a way to organize again. He came a-walking through a field, brightened by 1,000 suns. The music played around us all. He said an organizer's work is never done. An organizer's work is never done. But Joe, I said, you're 10 years dead. How can you be here now? He smiled at me with his kind old eyes and said, takes more than death to kill a man. Somehow takes more than death to kill a man. Somehow when you walk the talk you're talking, you help others keep on walking. Hammer of justice, how will they trust us if we're just like they? Yeah. He these songs I sang to you, 'cause what death can never kill goes on to organize, 'cause death can never kill the organized. Na 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 na, na 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 na, na 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 na, na 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 na, hey, hey, yeah. Last night I had the strangest dream. I dreamed I saw Joe Hill, Joe Hill. He was alive as you and me. I thought we're never gonna see his like again until we find a way to gather, admit what is the matter, find a way to organize again. Okay, sing that na-na. Na-na-na. I hope you were singing. All right. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Trex Proffitt. Ta-da!
Hey!
Trex!
Hello!
This is
Wow!
so great!
Hey, it's so great to see you. I can't believe it. And I got to hear a couple of songs too.
Aw.
I love that one.
Well, thank you. How are you surviving this incredibly brave thing that you're doing? And folks should know, because some of you don't, that Trex was a write-in candidate for this seat, which just blows my mind. It's such a brave and exciting thing to do. So what's it been like? How are you doing?
Well, thanks for asking. First of all, I just want to express gratitude that I get to be, here with you tonight and get to enjoy this wonderful concert. So it's doubly a pleasure because you're raising money for our campaign, which is fantastic.
Yes.
That gets me out of doing a whole bunch of phone calls. So thank you for, freeing me up. We do need to raise funds because, we're a scrappy little grassroots effort here in Lancaster, PA. Our district actually includes a little bit of Berks County too. It's a very oddly shaped district, so we wonder what that's called in politics. I'm not quite sure, but it seems to be a very long odds, challenging race, and we're going to give it a go anyway. And I'd like to win in 64 days. So yeah, I think you can do anything as long as you know how long you have to do it. And so I can do this for 64 more days. And I'll be honest, Narissa, I never have a bad day campaigning. It is so much fun. I didn't know it was this fun. And maybe I'm just, still not encountering the real tough parts. But just think about it. There's three things that I get to do all the time. The first is I get to reconnect with old friends and reinvigorate old friendships. Like here we are together again, conversing and talking about fun stuff. The second thing is I get to meet, new folks. And we get to talk about really important issues that are meaningful to us and to our country, which I think a lot of people are afraid to do during their normal life. Yes. It's so fraught. And then the third thing is we're always in the campaign talking about the future and how things could be better. And I love that. So I feel like I didn't realize it, 3 months ago, and we really got this going, but it's really amazing. And so thank you for including me tonight, because this is just, icing on the otherwise really wonderful cake.
Well, I'm so happy to hear this. I'm so happy to hear this. And I feel like I want to ask you a million questions after, like at least one for each of those three reasons. But talk a little bit more about, like, are you one of those? I mean, say what you will about Bill Clinton, but campaigning lit him up. You know, he just came to life when he was out. And I think it's true for Joe Biden also. There's some people who just don't even realize how much they love that kind of face-to-face personal interaction, talking to people at a deep level, until they're actually doing it. Was that the case with you, or did you have a sense that you would take to this?
Well, I always thought I'd make a difference in the classroom. I've been a career educator for now 26 years, I suppose. The last 8 years with middle schoolers. And you can't be shy with middle schoolers. I'll tell you, they won't let you.
Right.
So skibbity toilet and all that, you've got to overcome quite a bit of adversity and challenge whenever you're dealing with those youngsters. Actually, kindergartners are probably my toughest group. I teach some PE to kindergartners. They just start heading off in a different direction, and you're like, no, come back, really, come back. But the whole idea of doing campaigning was pretty foreign to me. I've worked on other people's campaigns in the past, which has been, challenging. Talking to strangers is tough and a little intimidating. But I feel like when you're in the campaign mode, you just flip a switch, and it's the job. And your job is to reach people who don't know you, and to share the information that they have a choice, what the nature of the choice is, and how things could be better with that choice. So, it just one more door, one more phone call, one more event. It's always, it's a thing you're on for sure. So I do get tired eventually, but I've noticed that it's its own reward. It is very invigorating. So just talking to voters has been fantastic in whatever way we get to do it. So
that's great. And there's a question up right now from Cindy, asking, from Nurses of Pennsylvania, what are your thoughts on the Patient Safety Act?
You've got me there. Wow. I'd probably need to take a close look at that. One of the things that campaigning has taught me is that I don't know anything. I'm even though you're probably like you and a lot of your longtime fans, I paid a lot of attention to the news and, keeping track of, who's at the top of the ticket. You can see I'm pretty excited about, there. Yes. I'm really excited about the Harris-Walz ticket. I was excited about Biden-Harris. I voted for, them twice already. So very exciting. But when you think about the things you don't know, I actually need it kind of spelled out for me sometimes. So Patient Safety Act, good question. This is the thing, though. I promise to become informed quickly. And
I know that about you, and I can vouch for this, that you had the kind of mind always, and I've known you since you were 15, where if you got curious about something, you would go find out about it, and you would know all about it like 24 hours later, and then you would teach it to me. And I'm a person who really needs a kind of very basic level kind of instruction. And my father's good at this too, about distilling something down to the level of somebody who may not be the smartest person in the room, but like translatable, like this is how this particular thing works. But the other thing I wanted to say is all of us, you're not just Trex. You are standing in place for so many people who really want you to win. I mean, all of us here want you to win, but there are people that I'm sure are in your community at Lancaster that you've got in your mind as you're getting through your days, like, probably particular people, and you could probably see their faces. Like, can you talk a little bit about some of the people that you are fighting for, that motivate you?
Yeah, sure. I mean, just thinking about the students that I've been teaching, right? I've reached thousands of students in my career. But when you're thinking about a statewide office like this one, when you think about the state legislature, we can affect millions of people. So, in terms of leverage, in terms of magnifying the impact and helping more and more young people, which has been my mission, I feel like this is a natural point of leverage, and I'm grateful to have the chance to do it. And I feel like that's one aspect. But the second aspect is, why am I running in particular? And we've had a lot of, I'll try to say this in a superficial way, but we can dig deeper if you want. We've suffered a lot of loss in our community. And in particular, in Lancaster, we've lost a number of young trans folks to suicide in the last year. And a lot of my students that I've worked with are gay or trans or non-binary. That's certainly a lot of folks in my family and maybe everyone's family if you dig far enough. So, a certain percentage of our population is in a currently embattled community, and we need to protect them. But it became very visceral to me in the past year that I wanted to do more. So a couple of things. I was prepared to do something more, but I didn't know what it would be. And I was prepared to do more because we had suffered some losses in our life. And our community had rallied around and helped us through those tough times. And so, that's part one of being prepared to give more. The second was I got a new kidney 2 years ago. So somebody gave me a piece of their body so that I could continue on. And when you think about that, I wouldn't say right away because I was, recovering and, trying to figure out what life was going to be like. But eventually you realize people are so giving, and it makes sense to give back. It makes sense to take your newfound energy or new lease on life and turn that to the public good. And then we suffered these losses. And I'd say Lancaster, PA is the battleground within the battleground state. We have a lot of adversity towards our LGBTQ plus community, and it affects mainly the anxiety and depression levels of our youth. So we lost someone who was very meaningful in our community in February, and his death really had me reeling like so many. I mean, of course, his direct family, but so many in the community knew Ash. And his death had me asking the question, is teaching a few students at a time in the classroom enough? Or can I do more? And so I really felt like I was waiting for an opportunity like this. And then once it came along, you flip that switch and now you're a candidate and it's full steam ahead. You've got to win in November. And even if you don't win in November, you have to go for it as best you can. And so that's what we're all about right now. But I think I was prepared for an opportunity and I didn't know what it was going to be. And then it was this. And in hindsight, it makes perfect sense. Sorry, that was a long answer, but.
That was a great answer. And I have a lot that I want to say, but I think I'm going to say it in a song. This is because this speaks to, my understanding of what you're talking about. And this was requested by somebody who's here today. And it has to do with understanding one's place in the world and what the real job is, which is love. And that love isn't something that you passively feel. Love isn't something that you wait for. You don't wait, you don't sit around waiting to be loved. And if you do, you might be waiting a very long time. Because love is actually the muscle that begins that process. And that when we take that chance to love, and that's exactly what you're doing right now, Trex, by putting yourself out there and fighting for justice and fighting in particular for this issue that's very close to our hearts and our family, and for, children everywhere who have the right to be themselves, who have the right to be exactly who they are. So anyway, this song is Love, 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 and I dedicate it to Trex's campaign and to all of you listening, except now, now I have to tune again. This is the... This goes out also to...
Hi, everybody. It's Katrina.
It's Katrina. Oh, thank
I'm here
God.
to get that on Larissa Tunes. So I did want to just make it clear that Trex already did the write-in part of his campaign. He was a write-in for the Democratic primary, and he needed 500 write-ins to get on the ballot, and he got more than 1,800. So that's very cool. And he will be on the ballot in November. So fear not. You don't have to remember. You don't have to learn how to spell his name. Next, our state senator, who represents us in the Massachusetts legislature, was also a successful writing. So
that's right,
and in that path.
That's right. Thank you for saying all that stuff. And I thought that I'd made it clear, but I probably hadn't, that Trex is the Democratic's candidate, and that we need to like give him all of our efforts to help him defeat the Republican. And this is Love, Love, Love. And, you know, Katrina might pop in again and lip sync. Who knows? Don't need no sports car. Don't need no gold star. Don't need no Oscar to tell me how I act. Just need the blue sky. Just need a true eye. Just need a good cry to get me back on track. Oh, let me love, love, love with all my heart and with all my strength and with all my mind. Let me love your children as my own. That's how I want to spend my time. Don't need a safe bet, don't need a new debt. I get what I get, it's always something I can use. Don't need to borrow any more tomorrow. Maybe my sorrow is something I could lose. Oh, let me love, love, love with all my heart and with all my strength and with all my mind. Let me love your children as my own and do whatever work I find. Don't leave the broken ones behind. But when it's over, will I find that there's nothing? Why should I believe? In the darkness, I can only grieve. Ooh, hey, hey, you have to show me I still don't know me. You have to slow me down. What does it mean to learn how to lean on you? Though I can't see you, I feel you come around. I feel you come around. And so I love, love, love with all my heart and with all my strength and with all my mind. Let me love your children as my own and do whatever work I find. Don't leave the broken ones behind. That's how I want to spend my time. That's how I want to spend my time.
Amazing. Amazing. I love it. I love the love, love, love.
It's kind of it's become my mantra when I'm feeling a little despair. But you know what? I was reading something from your webpage that I just loved, which is that you called yourself an optimist. And I do know that you've had some really hard things happen, including the death of your son. And you know, this crisis with your health that resolved beautifully, and I'm so grateful. But can you talk a little bit about optimism, about how you see it? Do you think that it's a gift that you have or something that you consciously cultivate, or somewhere in between?
Such a great question. Where does it come from? I don't have the answers, but
maybe your mom.
Yeah.
She's pretty optimistic.
I will say, and I have said this many times to her, everything important that I ever learned in life, I learned from my mom.
She was pretty special. She is a pretty awesome, kick-ass lady.
Yeah. So behind every strong man, there's a even stronger woman. I'm very blessed to have many very strong women behind me, including my campaign manager, Beth. She's watching on to make sure I perform correctly. But my mom also really unconditionally just exudes optimism, love, affection. She always thinks the best of people until they really, really prove her wrong. And even then she sends them money. kind of a nice feature. But where does it come from? I would say I actually learned a lot from your family, Narissa. You had the most singingest and most together family that I had ever seen by age 15. I remember my family was pretty small, and then we had a fair number of divorces through the family. So, I had a half brother, I had a step brother, but we never had the occasion all, sing together and gather around. And we didn't even necessarily know the same songs, except we did listen to that soundtrack for Grease on the way to South Carolina once in the car.
Oh yeah.
Didn't
we all though? Didn't we
right.
all?
It was so great, but if you play it, 10, 20 times, you eventually learn the words. but yeah, I think that optimism comes from, in some measure, the songs that we sang, right? Just the folk singing, the Americana, the idea that we all experience adversity and yet there's light at the end of the tunnel and that we can make a difference. I think that's what I took away, was that by performing for people as you do, you give them hope. You share their pain, you acknowledge the realities of life, but then there's an expectation that you're going to have an uplifting outlook as you come out of that. The other thing, though, is that just as an educator, look, if you're not an optimist, it's hard to be an educator, because here come these kids, right? They can have the worst day in the world. Let's say you didn't sleep well last night, your back hurts, maybe you got a toothache, you have a cup of coffee that doesn't help. And you go into school, and all of a sudden, the first kid jumps out of the car, comes running at you, ready to get a start on the day. You cannot be sad. You cannot be worried about the past. You are all about the potential of that day for that student. And I'm imagining these folks running out of getting dropped off and running at me. And you just feel this laughter and fun bubbling up from them and from your own insides. And then you've got to share it. So the first thing you have to do is greet people. It's no good to mumble at them. We teach the students, hey, give people a hearty hello and a friendly welcome. And you've got to do the same. So part of it's maybe just having to model it, I suppose. You have to model optimism to young people. Otherwise, they get sad and kind of morose, and they kind of dislike you for it, because why did you make me sad today, teacher? But just think, there probably are very few teachers who are not optimists as well. And I feel like that's kind of endemic to the profession. We're always about the future. We're always about what the potential is. And it doesn't matter which student it is. You teach everyone who comes in front of you, and you do your best with them. And that's all about the future. So
I think that's a very, very generous vision of teachers writ large. And I think by and large, I agree with you. But I do think you have an extraordinary gift. And I don't know if people out there know that I probably wouldn't be doing this job if it weren't for you. That I came to college, you and I had gone to high school together, and then we went to the same college. And I went to college, and I'd been a singer in high school, but I was very intimidated by the other students in my college. And my freshman year, I didn't do barely any music at all. I didn't put myself out there. And then sophomore year, I had this little idea when we were driving up to school, and I said, I think I might want to start an a cappella group that's not quite a cappella, where I play guitar and that we sing Peter, Paul, and Mary songs and other folk songs. And you were like, that's a great idea. You can do that. And that's what you always said to everything. Oh, that's a great idea. You could do that. And the next thing I know, you had reserved a room in your college and gathered all of everybody you knew who's even vaguely sang, and said, hey, got a group for you, Narissa, lead them. And that was the beginning of Tangled Up in Blue, which is still going strong at our college to this very day, thanks to Trex.
Thanks to you. Come on.
We made a good team there. But that gift of optimism, you know, like everybody needs somebody to believe in them. And now it's your turn. We believe in you. And once again, there is a link that you listeners and viewers can donate to support Trex. He didn't say this, but maybe he will now. Like his opponent, the Republican, who is the incumbent, how much more money does he have than you?
He has an infinite amount of money to spend. And on paper, he has about $730,000 as of 3 months ago.
Oh my gosh.
That's about average for a state Senate campaign. We haven't raised that much yet. And if he sneezes, he'll get more money dropped in as needed. So our goal is to make him spend it. And he is running TV ads. So he's at least showing a little bit of trepidation. We want to make him work for it. And we're running $1 million campaign on, you know, much less than $1 million, right? Like we have the grassroots, scrappy, Cinderella story kind of team that is going to get it done. And we're doing it the old fashioned way, hitting the doors, phone calls, going to events like this one, but also we're trying to create our own events all around the county. And so if you think about it, like we're earning it day by day, and voters tell us that means a lot to them. When I talked to a voter yesterday, she looked at me very suspiciously. We handed her the literature. She's like, okay, well, whatever. She went into her house, and then we were still on the street, and she came out and she yelled at me. She was like, hey, you, come back here. And she said, you know what? I'm going to give you another look because you came to my door. That means a lot to me.
Oh my gosh.
It means a lot to me that you're out here on a Sunday. It was Sunday. You're out here on a Sunday in the heat, you know, going from door to door. And so I'm going to take another look at you. And we get that a lot. People in this district, the reason we're earning it is in a real sense for the whole ticket is that they haven't, you know, in many places had visitors sharing this good news with them. We often have situations where candidates, you know, Republican candidates will run unopposed. There are a few of those in the district. And then there's other situations where it's just really difficult to reach some people. So we're not going to be able to knock every door. We need 67,000 votes. Mm-hmm. But so we won't be able to knock all 67,000 voter doors, but we have knocked thousands, and we're going to revisit. So it is work, and it means a lot to people, though, that we're doing that work. And I feel like it's just fantastic to see folks respond to that. They say that time and time again. Thank you for coming to my door. I've never had a politician come to my door. And it's not because other Dems haven't done it. It's that we are pursuing this year the hard voters, the ones who don't vote a lot, the ones who are maybe Republicans or independents who typically you wouldn't expect to vote for a candidate like me or for Kamala or for Tim. And this is the year we think that they're going to be able to switch, right? They can get their heads around how bad the alternatives are and consider that maybe their party has left them, or maybe given the choices, they want to lean our way. So we're knocking doors that perhaps in the past might not have been, showing up on people's targets. So I think that's also why it really matters that we're putting this work in.
Well, and this is the question I think all of us outside of Pennsylvania are asking right now, because everybody knows that if Harris Walz does not get Pennsylvania, it's going to be very hard for them to win. And so it behooves us all to support you, Trex, because I think a lot of people who are non-voters, if they're going to vote for you, they may well vote for Harris Walz. And if they don't, they may be sitting home. That's right. So you are doing more for that ticket too. But
that's our goal. Yeah.
Just what are the best things for us out-of-staters to do for you and for Pennsylvania? Money, postcards, driving to Pennsylvania, driving to your district and knocking on doors, or do they only want to see you and maybe Beth?
Yeah, that's right. No, it's amazing what folks are doing. Believe it or not, this campaign surprisingly has resonated with tons of people outside of our district. And in fact, I would say, we get a huge number of contributions from folks who are in relatively safer blue areas, and they can look around and see that their candidates are going to win. And so there's not a need to use their funds that way or to use their energy as much in that direction. But every vote we get in Pennsylvania is going to matter in this election, and in a way that it won't in New Jersey or New York or Massachusetts. So when you think about like that enthusiasm, it's real, and it's really affecting our campaign a ton. There's at least 3 reasons to invest in this campaign. One is me, right? I'm not a professional politician. I'm not, running for office all the time. This is it. This is like, now I am. And so one of the things that I've had to guarantee folks is that I'm just going to keep doing this. And I feel like that's reassuring because, and no knock on prior candidates, but it's a really difficult, challenging race. This seat's been Republican for 150 years,
Whoa.
No Dems. And that was a very different Democrat back in 1877. So imagine the inertia that the Republicans have in this district. They hardly have to do anything to win. And the incumbency advantage is real. But so folks are looking at that and they're saying, well, what can I do? How can I get involved? But people outside the district see that this is where every vote we earn not only helps, me get to office, but it also helps the whole ticket, because I'm getting those voters that either never voted before, have voted very infrequently, or are persuadable from either the Republican or independent categories. And I feel like that's the work we're doing. The second thing about this is you're investing in Pennsylvania. And first, that might sound weird. Like, I live in Massachusetts. Why would I want to invest in Pennsylvania? Well, Pennsylvania is literally the battleground because we are a role model for other battlegrounds, right? Like, this is the kind of state we have to learn how to flip, and that we have to learn how to keep blue in real time. So if you think about other states that we have been able to do that for, we thought they were safe, like Nevada, maybe Arizona, maybe perhaps Georgia. Nowhere is safe. And so
nowhere safe.
Keep this muscle memory going the whole time. And the third thing is every vote we earn is uniquely helpful to the top of the ticket. Like, we need about 12,000 unique voters compared to 2020. And all those 12,000 will aggregate up to Harris Walz. And those are hard ones to get. So it's not like the regular efforts are going to pay off in this district. They haven't in the past. So that's what we're trying to do. Biden and Harris won this the state of Pennsylvania by 80,000 in 2020, 80,000. So in our area, if I can get 12,000 new voters for the top of the ticket, that's going to really contribute to the overall win in Pennsylvania. So that's really resonating with folks outside the district and outside of the state.
Well, you convinced me. I'm giving you all my money.
That's right. $3 million right now. Just send it on over.
I'm sending it on over. We should probably begin to wrap up, but I think Katrina might want to get on and say a few words and at least say hi.
Hi.
How are you
so
feeling?
Sad I can't sing with you, and that if I talk too much, I'll cough. But I am so excited by everything I just heard, Trex. I am excited to send you money. I'm excited to flip Pennsylvania. But I think the thing that is most exciting to me is this idea that that the small motion of you going door to door is going to have an enormous impact. And that I think it's so easy to feel overwhelmed by this election and feel like we have no control and we have no agency and no ability to be influential. And I'm just overjoyed and optimistic hearing what you have to say. So thank you for giving me that today.
Yes.
And thank you for all the work you're doing. And I will be sending you money.
Uh-oh, Trex's voice went away.
Wait.
We do have postcarding. So we just got a box of 5,000 beautiful postcards featuring a local artist that we actually happen to have his painting from the postcard on the wall. Well, you can't really see it. But anyway, so we have his painting and we got the digital image so we could put it on the postcard. And so we are sending these out to people who it's hard to visit in person. And we're going township by township within the district and just sending these out. We've got a lot of volunteers willing to do that. We also can do texting campaigns. So you can write texts to people. We'll send you who, but the idea is that a quick message can go a long way. And it's not one of those automated robots. And we actually have people coming to visit and spend time here in the district to do this work from places like New York and New Jersey. We were just on a call today. If someone's offering to bring us 20 people from his group and just come out for a day. We're not really that far from a lot of places. We've had canvassers come up from Baltimore, DC, folks come out from Philadelphia. So it's been fantastic to have everyone imagine different ways that they can contribute and get involved. So I should have mentioned those things when you asked before, and I just want to reiterate, yes, there's lots of ways to get involved.
Well, we're going to do all those things. Trex, thank you so much for asking us to do this. This is the kind of thing, like, I love that, when we ask for donations, when we ask for help, it's actually a gift to the other person. So we're going to end with a video, actually, that I understand you've maybe been using for your campaign, which is our version of America the Beautiful. So best wishes to you, and we're going to be cheering you on. And thank you, everybody who attended today. And please do donate. And Katrina will be back soon, and we'll do this again. And have a wonderful Labor Day. And thank you, Kelly Lynn Knott, for being our tech genius, and for Patty for being the man behind the curtain and making us laugh very hard. And we love you all. Bye.
Thank you, Narissa. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesty above the fruited plains. America, America, God shed her grace on thee, and crown thy good in neighborhoods from sea to shining sea.
Oh, beautiful, for reason led, the founding of our rules, the balance of the power trumps the tyranny of fools. America, America, God mend thine every flaw, confirm thy soul in self-control, thy liberty in law.
Oh, beautiful, our open skies, how far our eyes do go. We crave a land unlimited by anyone's control. America, our liberty has blinded us with greed. Our bounty has deluded us to take more than we need.
How humbling that grace bestowed on our unworthy heads, when we, the people, turn our backs on families that fled.
America, our borders ache. Oh, let us find our soul. Unite the families torn apart, each broken heart be whole. Oh, beautiful
to make amends for our abhorrent acts. Our country built by labor forced on stolen lands and backs. America, repent for this, repair and say what's true. Let equity our promise be, declare these truths anew. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesty above